What's up, everybody? Carpo here. I'm sitting in the beautiful sunlight coming in my room for a brief half an hour a day. And it's damn warm. It's about 9 a.m. on Sunday, and I came out here to make this little, I might call it an inspirational video, but that's silly. Actually, what inspired me to make an inspirational video here was my lack of inspirational videos that I have on my channel, due to the fact that, and this is where I'm going to explain where I'm coming from here, every morning I wake up and I have a great outlook on the day. Like, I do my best to see the world for what it is, see the day for what it is, and I think, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are upset, depressed, bummed out, that just can't find a way to, they just can't catch a break, can't find themselves happiness, you know. I suppose this door is kind of loud. So I get up and I do my morning routine, and then I decide I'm going to come out before my wife leaves for work. She leaves like in half an hour, and I'll make a video and talk about something inspiring to help people try to get themselves on the right track. And then instantly I stop myself from doing it. And I believe that it's like a subconscious or maybe a conscious block that I don't feel that. See, it has to do with the humility of not believing that my path for my life and what I find is useful is going to work for everyone. Now, a lot of times I'll click on a video that has some title like "You are empowered" or "You have this" or "You can do it," you know, the kind of go get 'em type video. And I subscribe to a few of them, and some of my subscribers make them, and I think that they're really interesting and informative. Like, for example, Gabriel Kundalini. He's a guy who, he's a lot like me. We're very similar as far as age and everything. And he used to make videos while he's hiking around and whatnot, traveling the world, and, you know, talking about how to be happier, be a better person. And I found it inspiring, except for, I guess the one thing that I enjoyed was him, the way that he traveled through the woods and was doing things without resorting to music and effects to make his point. And this is trying to put this in a way that's not offensive to anyone, because I know a lot of people make videos where they want to help others, and in the in the back there's always this inspirational music, and it's the same way that the negative videos are made. Let's say the fear-mongering videos. And this is why the fear-mongering, you know, videos have always bothered me so much. It's because the people that make them... Okay, if you can sit in front of a camera like this and look at the camera, look at the people, and tell them what's going on in the world, the kind of issues we need to fix, the things that you see as a problem, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's the videos that are made with a lot of you know, photo clips from the internet, really caricatures and overdone extreme versions of nuclear war and whatnot, along with some zeitgeist music in the background that gets people like, whoa. And maybe I'm spending too long to say this, that music drives emotion. So if you're using music to back up what you're saying, then I feel like it's kind of cheating emotion. In other words, if you have a really important message to say, having background music can take away from that. But more than just music, it's the whole inspirational video idea that you can do it. Like, there's this one channel, I'm not even gonna, I don't name specific channels or people, so I'm not going to do that, at least, you know, not unless they're big time and they're causing problems, like Alex Jones the other day. But generally most people mean well and they're trying their best, and some of these channels talk about how we can do anything, we can create anything, we can be anything we want to be, that we just have to believe it. And a lot of people are out there spreading these types of things. They're saying you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it, and you have the power to change. And it's the same kind of shit that I say, which is that, you know, it's mental alchemy, it's a matter of changing your mind. But I've also been very clear to make it known that this isn't something that you just flick like a switch overnight. You don't just wake up one morning and decide, I'm going to live happy, I'm going to be happy. You can make that decision, but it's like making the decision, I'm going to be rich. maybe you'll get rich overnight. Not likely. Most likely it'll give you the inspiration to work towards becoming rich. And in the same regards, if you wake up and have the desire to be happy, you'll work towards becoming happy. The only inspiring things I can say are that, that many of the people I've met that are unhappy are choosing to be unhappy. Now, often it has to do with brain or body chemistry, improper diet or drug usage, but sometimes it's just a matter of, well, on top of the external things that can cause problems, such as our diet and drugs, there's also the people that we surround ourselves with. Are they boosting us up? In other words, I've spoken with a lot of people who are really into finding themselves and understanding the world they live in, and they're into inspirational speeches and whatnot. And then when you get down to it, what they're trying to do is escape their husband or wife or teachers or boss or whoever it may be in their life that's holding them back or making them feel less than adequate. So let's say if you are a woman that's living with a man who is very abusive, he's very spiteful and hateful, and you're afraid of him, no amount of self-improvement is going to really ever get you out of that. Because once you hit a certain wall, a certain point in understanding yourself, you realize that it's who you surround yourself with that cause these problems, the vibes of those around us, and the issues. So let's say a person's just not feeling well all the time. They're just sick, they feel unhealthy, sickly, and they realize it's because their diet's not proper. So they're told to change their diet. But perhaps it's being overlooked that the reason they're not eating is because they're always anxious because someone in their life is miserable or abusive or hateful. The same way that children can appear very stressed out. The parents who are really easygoing on their kids tend to have kids that are a little too rambunctious, and the ones that always scold their kids have the kids that tend to be more quiet and withdrawn. And this isn't always, just an extreme example, that you can have a child that will listen and obey, but if it comes at the cost of them feeling independent, it's not a great thing. And I feel it's the same way with us adults. If we're trying to be a certain way or feel a certain way, but it's interfered with by our surroundings, we have to change that. So I know this is kind of a ramble. I'm never really getting any points across, except for just that I'm not trying to knock anybody who's making inspiring videos. I think that they're very important. But I guess I turned one on about a half an hour ago, and I just kind of clicked it off. And that was when I started thinking about this and realizing that I really enjoy videos that try to tell us to be better people and to be happier with who we are in our surroundings, as long as they don't make us complacent. And this brings up the idea of, my friend was here the other day, and he was talking about how he doesn't need money in his life, he doesn't want money, but that he knows he has to have it to survive. It was our discussion. I'm the same way. And he said, but when you tell people that, they just say, oh, well, you're saying that because you're poor. And that's a hard one to argue with, but when you have had money and had no money, and you know the difference, that anything over a certain amount of money causes you more anguish than it's worth. They did a study, and who knows what it's worth, but I think anything made over $25,000 or $30,000 per individual, per head of household, causes more anxiety. Anything under 25 grand and anything over 25 grand, there seems to be a perfect amount of money to make to keep you content, to where it doesn't cause more problems. And I'm not talking about money here. I'm using this as a metaphor for everything in our lives. If we attach and have too much acceptance and tolerance, then we tend to get tread on. If we have too much anger and hostility, then we can't make friends. And it all goes back to the balance and understanding this. So that's my morning rant. Hope you all have a wonderful day.